This is A-Game. Fast acting, long lasting, with no side effects.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your host, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So, what are we talking about today? Today, we're talking about how Black women, particularly masculine Black women, like to discredit feminine women, like to discredit the so-called pick-me. And one of the ways in which they do that is saying pick-me's never get picked. Pick-me's don't get picked. And they're trying to say, well, if they see a woman, a Black woman, that's being feminine, but she doesn't necessarily have a man at that time. Maybe she was in a relationship. Maybe she's not in a relationship right now. Maybe she just started her femininity journey and she's taking a time out from relationships in order to get herself together. But whatever the background case might be, if the question is asked of a so-called pick-me or a feminine woman, because that's what it really is. The pick-me thing, we can do the jabs about that or even laugh about it. But the fact of the matter is, no matter what they say a pick-me is supposed to be or what they say they mean by that, it really is just a feminine Black woman. Okay, any Black woman who has embraced her femininity is gonna be a pick-me at some point in time. But anyway, it's meant to discredit her by asking if she's married or if she's in a committed relationship. They're trying to ascertain, did your femininity work for you? Did it work for you? And the only measuring stick that they have for whether or not it worked is if you have a man or not. Okay? And what that says is they misunderstand femininity. This is why I did a content about them not understanding femininity. And you can actually check that out right here. They don't understand what it is at all. They think it's about all of these other external things rather than thinking and knowing that it is about something internal. So the whole, well, pick-me's don't get picked type of situation is meant as a jab. It's meant to roast you. It's meant to discredit what you're doing. And right now, I'm not even talking to the hyenas. I'm actually talking to the feminine women right now that are listening to me, because you're going to get a lot of opposition. You're going to get a lot of pushback. You're going to get a lot of challenges. You're going to get a lot of other women that is not feeling it. They don't want to talk to you about that. They will laugh at you or make jokes about it, or, try to have serious conversations and interventions with you about your femininity. And I want to talk about that point for a minute, because what that really is that is them not wanting to see you make any improvement that takes you out of the lost value system. That's what it really is. They don't want to see you. And when I say they, I mean, I'm talking to the feminine women, and I'm talking to the women in your life, no matter who they are, that push back against you. The harder they push, the more they don't want to see you make any improvement in your life, for your betterment, for your upgrade, for the upgrade of the family, your family or your children or your marriage or your men or whatever it is. They don't actually want to see you succeed. So they'll use sign language. They'll use shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right against you, because you're trying to have hope. Okay? You've gone from the sign to the hope, and they see that transition. I need you to understand that people watch that transition, and people do not like that transition. Okay, ladies? When your little single friends or whatever, they don't even have to be single. When your friends that you've been rocking with and in the lost value system with can't get out, and you find a way out, they will try to stop you. These other women will try to shame you. This is where the pick me and the mammies and stuff like that come from. And you're black male identified. That's where all of that stuff comes from. Okay? It comes from it. It's not even so much personal as it is we see you leaving the lost value system, and we cannot tolerate a drop in our numbers. Okay? That's what that really is. So when they ask about whether or not you have a man, that's the first way, because you're supposed to feel, if you don't have a man, or you don't have a husband, or you didn't have one, or never had one, or whatever, you're supposed to feel bad. You're supposed to feel embarrassed by that fact. That's a gotcha question, or it tries to be. Okay? And I'm going to need my feminine women to disregard that gotcha question, because the fact of the matter is we are not really engaging in a return to our femininity specifically to get men. That may have been a catalyst, and in our understanding of why we don't have healthy relationships with men, or why we couldn't get lasting relationships with men that meant something, that committed, that did any of those things. You know, you get tired of the passing flings, or you want to get into a serious relationship, but it seems like the guy will never take you seriously, or you never can get past a certain point, and all of those sorts of things. So those things may have been a catalyst, but once a woman starts her feminine journey, especially if she has never really encountered any of those things, never really been in her feminine energy before, that is a new experience, and you have to relearn who you are, and you have to unlearn all of those toxic feminine traits, the toxic femininity, right? You have to unlearn that stuff. And when you are in the process of unlearning that stuff, that might not be a good time to get into a relationship if you are not already in one. That might not be the best time, because you are transforming. You are stepping into a different part of you, a better part of you, a better part of your life, a different way of thinking, a different way of behaving, a different way of interacting with the world. This is a very, very, very important step. So please don't let some past Misha try to embarrass you, or try to get you to stop making your improvement based upon whether or not at that particular time in your life you're in a relationship or not. Because 9 times out of 10, the same one talking crap to you has never been in a committed relationship, or they've been in a series of failed relationships and wouldn't be able to think back one time as to why those relationships really fail and how to improve the next time. Just keep getting into marriages and long-term relationships, 5-6 years, you know what I'm saying, only to end up single and alone again. And then try to perpetrate to the world that they're happy about that situation. No woman is happy about that situation. Okay? The other part about it is, when they say, do you have a man or do you have a husband? What they, other than them trying to say that your femininity is pointless and useless if there was no man to come validate it, they actually can't see the benefit of being feminine for themselves. They don't see the benefit of it, right? But let me go back a little bit, just a little bit, to the validation part of them saying, or using that as a measuring stick, where you're pandering to men by being feminine. Let's talk about pandering to men by being feminine. Let's talk about that concept. Aren't women supposed to be feminine? And isn't that in part supposed to attract male energy to you? See, we've gone so far into the lost value system, we forgot biology. We forgot the natural order of things. Women are supposed to be feminine, and that in turn attracts masculine energy. We are supposed to be feminine for men too. See, the femininity operates twofold. It benefits us because we are in our rightful place as women biologically, psychologically, emotionally. We're in our proper space. So therefore, we know how to operate and interface with the world properly from a feminine standpoint because we're women. I need you to come off the rainbow intersectionality train for a second and come back to we only really got two genders. All right? And when you're a female, it's supposed to be feminine. All right? And when you're male, you're supposed to be masculine. Okay? So I'm going to need y'all to come up off of that for a second. And let's get down to the nitty-gritty of the biology. For real, for real. So that feminine energy is supposed to attract male energy. And the stupid part about it is the women that says this to other women want to attract men too. They the main ones trying to get a man. It's the most masculine of them all that calls into Kevin's show trying to get a man. And he be having a breakdown they masculinity. Okay? You're not getting a man because you a man. Huh, boop, knock it off. Same chick want to beat you upside the head about trying to be appealing or attractive to men through your femininity when that's exactly what you're supposed to be doing anyway. As a woman, like that's what you're supposed to be doing. But anyway, the real reason why they want to discredit feminine women is because not only do they not understand the benefit of being feminine for themselves outside of a potential relationship with a man or anything like that, they are actually afraid of the change needed to go into feminine energy and stay there. They're afraid of that change. They're actually afraid to come away from this because this is where those masculine women reside, especially when they think it's okay to be masculine, or they have been so far on into it that they don't recognize that they're masculine. See, this is where they are. And this is where feminine women are escaping from. And the reason why is because I've said it before, the truth breaks a lie. Only the truth breaks the lost value system. And when feminine women realize what's going on and try to go back to their actual biological truth, that breaks their personal involvement in the lost value system. That's what it does. And the people that you've been associating with, the women that you've been associating with, if they're not ready for that evolution on their own for themselves and they see you evolving, best believe they're not going to be happy for you. They're not going to applaud that. They're going to try what they're going to try to tear that down and stop you from actually going back to your correct biological stance, which is your femininity, which is the truth about your nature, which is the truth about male nature. You understand what I'm saying? They're trying to shame you back into ignorance and oversight and falsehood because you started your feminine journey because of this. You went to insight, the truth. At the top, it says the truth. and then understanding a specific cause and effect within a particular context. That's what started it. They're trying to keep you in what? Falsehood, oversight. And what does that say? Over, hyper, both more and less than. An unintentional or intentional failure to notice or do something. See, they want you in that space with them because they're in that space, because they're afraid of the change. Okay? So sound off in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.